Hello and welcome to another episode of the Verified Geek podcast show. I'm so sorry, I forgot to introduce myself on the introduction video. My name is Dora and I am the host of the Verified Geek podcast. For today's episode, we're going to look into data science. What is data science? Don't worry, I googled it for you. Yeah, not very clear. But this is what I've done. I brought on the show a senior data scientist that works for BBC. Christina is going to take us on a journey through data science. Hi, Christina. How are you?
Hello, Dora. I'm good. How are you?
Good. Where are you right now?
I'm in Glasgow, actually. Yeah, Scotland. It's a bit snowy here.
Oh,
but
nice.
yeah,
In London,
not bad.
it snowed for 3 days and then it was done. That was it. Well, actually, it was quite good, but it was just 3 days. Yeah.
Yeah, the temperature is rising again here, but it's gonna be rainy. So
Nice.
hope for the Mars to be coming.
Nice. So just to give a quick introduction of you, you are working as a data scientist right now, which is kind of a thing that everyone is talking about. So that's the reason why I called you in this podcast, just to make it clear about what data science is, how you can get a job in data science, and is it difficult? Would you have to study something specific and all this stuff? So you're actually a senior data scientist and you know a lot of on this matter. So I thought you'd be the perfect person to give an insight in this. So first things first, what did you study? How did the whole journey start?
Yeah, that's a good question. I studied electrical and computer engineering back in Greece. That was my degree. I think it was quite like a huge field that this degree was covering and touching superficially, bits and bobs of different stuff. So we had things about electrical engineering, things about telecommunications, things about computers and computer science in general. Right. Actually, that was what I followed in the end, the computer science, let's say, direction of things in there. So that's what I studied. And there were a couple of stuff there, like data related back then, and introduction to artificial intelligence and kind of like algorithms and these kind of things. Data science wasn't a hype, and there wasn't like a very specific degree to study that. So that was just, the most related things you could find apart from mathematics and physics and so on, if you want. Yeah.
Okay, that's nice. So, and then I presume you didn't move straight away to data science. What was your first job title?
Yeah, actually, after graduating, I started working in a research center in Greece, there my title was actually research assistant. But the project that I was part of was quite data related. So it was around verifying multimedia, and more specifically multimedia on Twitter and social media. So what we were trying to do is find tweets that are sharing fake images and fake content in general. And that's how I started thinking about data, so it was gathering data, then analyzing those tweets, thinking in there behind what features we can find, what characteristics we can find in the data to see if they are fake or if they are real, and so on. So then that was the point actually that I realized how much I like these things, because it wasn't just algorithms, but it was combining data, combining knowledge about the domain and how you actually communicate this to other people and so on. Yeah, so that was my first touch with data, and I think, yeah, it's just, from that point on, I realized that that was what I wanted to do. Yeah.
That's very
So it wasn't
interesting.
like, from the very early of my university years that I knew that I like that, but then it just came really when I just joined this project. I thought, yeah, actually data is cool.
Nice. That's perfect. That's really good. So, just to clear things out, because a lot of people are a bit confused as to what data science is and what you need to study, or what uh, experience you need to have in order to do that. What exactly is data science?
So yeah, if we want to like give a definition of the field, I would say it's the discipline of making data useful. So that would be it. I appreciate this sounds quite vague, right? But yeah, ultimately it's having some data in whatever context you can imagine, like in a business or whatever data you are really interested in, and trying to actually make sense out of this data. Find some insights, something that this can be translated into a decision or just an understanding of a situation and so on. So that would be in general the data science as a field.
Nice. That sounds good. So, but then, when someone Googles about data science, it says that you need to basically have either a computer science degree, have no knowledge about math and statistics, but also domains business knowledge. So let's say that you don't have all of this knowledge as your background. Can you still become a data scientist?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the resources that are out there, and like when you Google it, as you say, is very overwhelming, right?
Yeah.
Because there are so many skills and so many like things that you should know about. And some people are mentioning also having a PhD is very useful and so on. But yeah, and can be really overwhelming for someone who wants to start a career in data science. I think in general, I would say that first of all, you need to like data a lot. You need to like keep asking why in order to become a data scientist. So the title by itself is very, very vague. So it can be different things. There are people who are working on data engineering and they are like manipulating data and transforming data. There are people that are working on statistics, other people doing PhDs and they're diving into methods and trying to like improve those methodologies and algorithms and so on. There are people who are more practical and they are applying some algorithms, and data analysts as well. So it's a huge field. So yeah, I think that the most important thing is to find yourself within this like space and think what you want to do, what you would like, what inspires you, and just do it. So it didn't used to be a degree in data science, so I wouldn't say that this is a prerequisite. On the contrary, there are so many like different disciplines, and that I mean people with different like disciplines coming from different backgrounds that I worked with. So there isn't like a very clear path for someone to become a data scientist. Yes, so I think one of the most important things to consider is like communication is very important when you are thinking of you becoming a data scientist, because you really need to like communicate what you are finding. It doesn't really matter if you do a fancy thing or if you know a fancy algorithm and you're not able to communicate it, because ultimately data science is about making sense out of data, and then I don't know, like giving this knowledge to someone else who is interested in this result, let's say. So yeah, I mean, some people are thinking like of the title of data scientist, and they are restricting themselves to that. but you can be a data scientist without even carrying the title per se. So if you're in a job and you are surrounded by data, and I'm sure most of the people are surrounded by data in their jobs, whatever they are doing, I think finding an opportunity to like do something with this data and showing that, sharing that, and communicating that, that's super important, because then you have straight away a practical and tangible project that you just worked on. So you don't have to have the degree or know all the fancy stuff. Just do something, do something and then share it, and then put it on GitHub, even if you want to. Just don't be afraid to have something that is semi finished and so on, or share it within the organization and like work on something and
I guess that is a good start. Yeah, very, very valuable information. Nice. So, what is it a day in the? I mean, I presume you work from home now, like all of us. But what is a normal day in the office when you have a new project to start on, if you're a data scientist? Let's just say a new project is about to start. And then what's the process of continuing that project?
Yeah, so at the moment, I think it depends quite a lot on the company that you are and the environment and how you are used to work with. For myself at the moment that I work for the BBC, the process is again not very structured. And it's quite dependent on the project. But in general, when we have something to do, it has quite a lot of talking and collaboration with the product people and actually the team that is interested in, in that specific project and that's behind that project. So it's like the business side that we are serving as data science team. So we start quite a lot on talking about their needs, what they want to do, why they are asking about that project. What is their goal? Sometimes people don't really know their goals, right? Because they are having something in mind that machine learning and data science can solve, but actually it can't, or it's a different problem. So we start by talking with them, identifying their needs, and then we are diving into the data. We are seeing what we have available there, what other data we want, how can we link this data with other resources that we have, and so on. So analyzing it, seeing what we can do, applying some state-of-the-art algorithms and looking what's already there, what we can do next. And then I think the most important thing is sharing early, because you can go away for 2 months and just like do the most fancy algorithm and solution that solves entirely the problem, but then it might be that the wrong problem that you're trying to solve.
Yeah.
So I think it's very important to go back and check regularly with people that are expert on this domain on what you're doing. So are you doing the right thing? And so on. So I think that this is a general thing that people like should think about when they're trying to solve a problem, like thinking about the practical things. So that's how it's going in the office. It's quite a lot like collaborating with all these people, thinking and like having meetings with other data scientists and see what's going on and how we can like join our ideas and our solutions, presenting back, and solving also other like issues in terms of access and engineering stuff. Like this is always a challenge, especially in big companies, because you have to like find where the data is and how you can access it, and
and are you able? I'm guessing it's like there's a lot of problems right now because I guess the law comes in the way. Like, are you able to access the data? Is it legal? All of this stuff, I guess, might be quite an issue in data science.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think, it's like, especially right now, there is a lot of thing about anonymization and making sure that you aren't really processing data that you shouldn't, and all these considerations.
Nice. So, what about the future of data science? So, we can fairly say that we're at the start of this whole thing, and everyone is talking about it now. It reminds me of how, like, virtual reality days, when virtual reality started, everyone was talking about it. Suddenly people have stopped talking about it. So it hasn't become the big deal that everyone thought it was going to become, or maybe it will in the future, I don't know. But in terms of data science, what do you think it's the future of it? Do you think it's going to help in sectors like health? Is it going to become like very, very important in sectors like health or finance or other sectors? What is the future of it, basically?
Yeah, actually, I really hope that it will be, like inside different disciplines. There is quite a lot of potential in data because, and I think most of businesses are starting realizing that, and most of the companies, that they have data and they should do something about that. Data is all over the place in their company, so why are they not harnessing them and doing something out of them? I really hope that we can really use data science for good in these cases like health, as you said. There are like quite a lot of initiatives of people like doing, I don't know, image analysis of X-rays and all these kind of things. And yeah, I really hope that it can be used as an assistive tool in most of those cases. It's a very like, not very easy subject to discuss because people are having concerns in terms of like personal data and patient data, and also what if an algorithm is giving the wrong decision and this kind of like affecting the doctor's decisions and decision and so on. But I think with the rights, if we are aware of those challenges and of those like problems and issues, then putting the right checks and controls in place would give us, we will be able to actually take advantage of those algorithms rather than being afraid of them.
Yeah.
So absolutely, I think it's gonna be even a bigger thing in the future. Because we have also like the data storage and the computational power now to actually take advantage of this data. Before it wasn't the case, and people didn't really care or haven't thought about that. But now we do know how to like, people have the skills to actually.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. The future there is really bright, but it seems like there's companies that are using data in the wrong way. Or I think if a strong law comes in place and it becomes a lot more ethical, then the future of data science will be bright. Definitely, yeah. I mean, machine learning is a big deal. So yeah.
And every time I think already like the people started thinking about the ethical side of things, but it should be actually, a part of the process, thinking about ethical considerations, thinking about who you are affecting with your algorithm in terms of like people around, thinking about putting the human in the loop, not like having just a black box, an algorithm as a black box, and not putting in the intuition of someone, of people, humans. So
that's very good. Yeah, you're right. So let's say someone just graduated from school, or they graduated from, I don't know, a maths degree or a computer science degree, and they want to become a data scientist or just follow that path. What would your advice be? Like you mentioned, having a GitHub account, that's actually quite important these days. Me as a programmer, you didn't have to have a good GitHub account when you started 10 years ago, but now, it kind of shows your skills and stuff. So Yeah, what would your advice be if someone wanted to start a career in data science now?
The first thing I think is to just like uh, get some data and start a project. I think it's quite cliche when we say learn by doing, but it's quite the truth in data science. When it's really important, if you start doing courses on, I don't know, on Coursera or like at some other platform that you like, and you're learning the basics, but then it's really important if you actually start a tangible project. Then you're able to see so many stuff there, like so many obstacles, so many things you don't know, and then you start figuring out what you need to learn in order to grow and develop as a data scientist. So yeah, just like start the project, then share it. I think it's quite difficult in the beginning because you imagine that you're not doing something very important, and you have like this kind of like sense that it's nothing what you
Yeah,
worked on.
exactly.
But then it's very important really to just put it out there and expose yourself. It's really nice, and it feels nice because then you get some feedback and you grow a lot. So even if you don't have like a very specific job as a data scientist, starting a project and doing it, it's really cool. So I would say
that's very good advice. You also do talks and seminars, right? With BBC and stuff. Is that presenting some of the findings or presenting how you work in the BBC? What exactly are the talks about?
So many people from our team are doing that. So it's we value quite a lot the exposure of what we are doing because it's data science in public sector. So usually there are different challenges than the ones in private companies. So we tend to show quite a lot the ways that we are working and how we are going about doing data science in the BBC and so on. So
Nice.
different stuff
great.
really, depending on the expertise of the people as well. Yeah,
that's really interesting. So apart from the whole working in tech and stuff, first of all, how are you coping now with working from home, and how has your life changed, and how has the working life changed as well?
Well, it's not very easy, like working from home. I mean, if you also like think about your afternoon, I mean, your evening, there are no like any other major activities you can do. So you restrict yourself at home and so on. So it's a bit more challenging. In our team, because we are a distributed team and we were before even the pandemic, we have people in London, Salford, and Glasgow. So we were quite used in that one. So we were good at adapting quickly in the new reality. So we used to have like quite a lot of calls and so on. So it wasn't a very big change in terms of that. Of course, we miss the office quite a lot, going there and having a conversation over the coffee machine and having a nice lunch with friends is always very much appreciated from me. But yeah, I think that it's quite a challenge to just stay at home, be in front of Zoom all the time and in front of the computer. So
for all of us,
dealing with that, but it's not great.
So how are you coping in terms of your hobbies? Are you still doing swing dancing? How do you like fill your free time now?
I in the beginning I started like because I'm doing swing dancing, but it's not easy to do that at home now. So in the beginning, I started like doing some classes online, but yeah,
You're teaching, right?
Yes, yes. I'm teaching in the local community here in Glasgow. And we started an effort with some other teachers to actually do something and keep people engaged. But it's not great from Zoom. So yeah, a bit of choreos and a bit of like a couple of classes
Yeah.
was a start, but then I think everyone was very discouraged in the end after 2 months. Yeah, looking forward to the real thing.
Yeah, that's good. I think I saw a video with you and your sister dancing. Is it okay if I steal that video to put it on my podcast channel?
Yes, of course, you can take it.
That's amazing. That's actually pretty good. It's like, you know how people think that people that work in tech are in front of a computer all day doing nothing else. That's what they generally think, which annoys me so much, and that's one of the main reasons why I started this podcast. It's like we have a senior data scientist that's also teaching swing dancing. Like,
Well,
I love this stuff.
right? Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
anyway,
Keeping hope is very sane in those times. You need to like
yeah,
switch off from work, switch off from tech, and just do something different.
yeah,
And yeah,
exactly. I mean, you have to, you
but,
have to.
yeah.
So, what else have you bought anything at home to make it like better as a working place? Because me, literally, I didn't even have a desk at home before. I didn't really care. I would never really open the computer at home and start coding. Have you bought like stuff to make it even better now?
Yes, I mean, in the beginning, you didn't expect that to be lasting for a year. So
Yeah,
I was like, I'm not gonna buy everything. It's fine, and so on. But then uh, I bought a monitor. I bought a better chair because, like, sitting all day, it's very important to be in a good chair. So yeah, bits and bobs there you always need. But I didn't have myself a working station, let's say,
yeah,
before at home because I was using the laptop for leisure and just even if you code at some point, you just like you're not supposed to do that all day long. So it wasn't a necessity. But now, with all the new situation, yeah.
yeah. Go back to coding, actually. What kind of language do you use in data science usually?
Usually in data science, you use Python or R,
Mhm.
but definitely you are not restricted to those. So depending on the project and what you're doing, yeah, you have different languages. Some people use Scala in some cases as well. Some people use like uh, Java even. I mean, the thing is that the algorithms are, uh, you know, above all, they are mathematics behind that. So, they are just implemented in different languages.
Yeah.
But Python appears to have, and R as well, they appear to have the most complete packages and
Mm.
complete docs. So it's very easy to pick up. You just go there, take the algorithm you need, and just start writing code and so on. Yeah, I'm using Python myself.
Okay, that's very interesting. Yeah, I guess it all comes down to writing algorithms, but I think Python has given a lot of attention to doing stuff like this. Everyone in machine learning is using Python.
Yeah,
That's
totally.
nice. That's very, very interesting. You know what? This was all like quite new to me. Thank you so much for sharing your experience with data science and your valuable information of how someone can become a data scientist. Yeah, hopefully I'll see you soon. We can just do this again face to face so you can tell me about your new talks and new experiences in data science.
I hope it was informative, my point of view. And thanks for having me, Dora. It was a
Thank
pleasure.
you. Bye bye.